So in the continuation of the last lecture, there we have learned what is correlation coefficient and how to interpret it. We are going to see what are the notations we are going to use for the calculation of linear correlation coefficient represented by R. Right? Till now we have learned that whenever n is coming, it represents the sample or how many data values are here. So here also we will take n to represent the number of pairs of data which is present. Why we are saying pair? Because we are going to work with two of the variables and we are going to find out either there is some correlation or not. We know about sigma, it denotes the addition. Sigma x, we will have summation of all values of x. Summation x square. Summation x square here I have written why, because normally when we write it down in a formula, some student got confused that is there summation x square same as summation x whole square? So no, you have to be very careful regarding these things. Summation x square, we are saying that I have to square the whole series of x and then we will have to find out their sum. We are not saying that take x sum and make it square, so we will use that also. See here it is a difference, means here if we are saying summation x square and summation x whole square, this is how we have to pronounce it. This is summation x whole square, means we will have the x data, we have to sum them up and whatever is coming as a sum we are going to make it square. And if I am talking about summation x square, so what it means, for the given x we have to find out a column having all the squared values, we have to sum them up and that will be the value of summation x square. Right? Next, if you're saying summation xy, so it is just we have two things as x and y data values. We are going to find out their product and then their sum. And as we know, R represent the linear correlation coefficient for a sample. So this is the formula that you have to note down to work with the correlation coefficient. And it's both formula that is coming on your screen are same. How they are same? Here see, we have summation xy minus summation y divided by n. Here in the second formula we have just taken the LCM and n is coming over here. We have multiplied n taking as the LCM. And here again, if we are taking n as LCM, then one n is coming from here, one n is coming from here, and it becomes n summation x square minus summation x whole square. So it is up to you which formula is you feel as comfortable, you have to learn it. According to me, what I used to have is the first formula, because it's easy to say that summation xy together we are saying, and then summation x into summation y divided by n. In the denominator when I come, so what we have to do, how we have to learn it, if I replace y by x, what this term will become? X square, correct? And here if I replace y by x, it becomes summation x into summation x, it becomes summation x whole square. Similarly here, the second term in the denominator, this one, if I take x as y, replace x by y in the numerator part, then it is summation of y means summation y square, and minus summation y means summation y whole square divided by n. So it is very important to know the trick, how to remember it also, because this will lead to the less errors. So this is how you can learn. Right? Summation xy minus summation y divided by n divided by under root of. Be sure to have the under root, square root. Square root of the two expressions we have. In the first expression, we have the same thing as numerator, but y is replaced by x. In the second term, we have same thing as numerator, but x is replaced by y. So this is our correlation coefficient formula. Now, if we go with the example, which type of example could be asked from you and how we have to solve, let's see. And obviously, it's not only for the example or examination point of view, the things can be asked or required while doing some of the experiment, and when you need to find out that whatever the data is front of you, are the two variables correlated? Is there any relation between the two things or not? Okay, so let's see what here we have. Here we are saying a sample of 6 children was selected and data about their age in years and weights. Age in years and weight in kilogram was recorded as shown in the following table. We have collected data from 6 kids, 6 children, and we have noted down their age and their weight. Age is coming in years, weight is recorded as kgs. And we are looking for, is there any relation between the years, means the age, and the weight? So what you say? Is there? Obviously there is a relation. But here we have to show it, because now it is a known fact that as the kids age are going to be increased, they have to follow a particular weight. If it is not following a particular standard weight, then either it is falling less than or maybe more than. So we have to be actually in a normal range. So here, in order to validate it, we have taken a data, and here you can say the kids are of age 7, 6, 8, 5, 6, 9. We have two kids of age 6, but doesn't matter, it is just an arbitrary data we have, and their weights are also given. Right? You can see one kid of age 6 is having 8 weight and other is having 11 weight. Right? So it doesn't matter, whatever we have calculated, we have you can say summarized as a data, so it is given to us. We have to find out that either the two things related or not, correlated or not. So in order to say, okay, here one more thing is there. Just as a note, you can take that whenever we are talking about two things, we have taken x as independent one, and the other weight we have taken as dependent one. So here you can take one thing as dependent, another thing as independent, because we are going to find out the relation between depending upon age, what is the weight. Okay? So here you have to take one thing as x, another thing as y. So here we have taken, and you can see earlier we have been provided with these three columns. Serial number might be, it should be given or not, doesn't matter. We have been provided the data of age and weight of the six kids. So these things are provided. What we have done, we have written that let this is x, this is y, and we have obtained a column xy by multiplying the two values, 7 into 12, 84, 6 8 are 48, and so on. In the next two columns, you have taken x square, this is x square, 7 square, 6 square, 8 square, and so on, and similarly y square. Correct? So whenever the data is there for the correlation, you need to maintain three more columns of xy, x square, and y square. And what you need to do is to find out their total. We have done summation x, summation y, summation xy, x square, and summation y square. We have added the whole values, the data values of a column, and it's giving us the summation. Now if we just substitute all the values in the formula, see the calculation you have to do here, I have just written that it is summation xy minus summation x summation y by n and so on. The formula is whole written over here. And if you will see, the value is coming as 0.759. Correct? The value is 0.759, so it means the things are positively correlated. Why? Because we are getting a positive sign. Very simple. Whenever we are getting a positive sign, the things are positively correlated. When we are getting a negative sign, the things are negatively correlated. Correct? And based upon the value, what we can say, which type of correlation is there? It is a strong correlation. From 0.75 to 1, it is strong. From other side, if we say 0 to 0.25, it's weak, and otherwise it is intermediate. Right? So here we are getting the value as 0.759, which indicates a strong direct correlation. You can say direct or positive. It is actually the same thing. Done? So one example we have done, actually when we are doing either on a software or manually on your notebook, it will take time, because here we have the solution in front of us, so we have just to read it out. But when the things are given in front of you, be sure that you are careful while doing the calculation, because if the calculation is not correct, then obviously you are getting a wrong answer. Correct? Now the next example we have in front of us is we want to find out the relation between the anxiety and test score. I think all of us are aware of the fact that whenever we have to attempt any test, then our heartbeat goes fast as we have the normal one, as compared to the normal one. And we have some anxiety factor is there, that we are getting nervous, we are feeling more thirsty, and all these factors are coming. Okay? So here we have noted down the anxiety, might be they have measured based upon a survey, and test score, how much a person is getting. and we want to know, is there any relationship between the anxiety and the test score? Because it is normally said that when you are going for the examination, calm down yourself, be cool, don't get nervous. All the things are being advised by our parents and the teachers too. So what we have to look for, we have to be calm down and relax. And what my advice is, what my mother used to give me is, whenever exam is coming, just take a break of 1-2 hours and relax yourself. Then you have to go. But normally, student, what I have seen in the university also, that just before the exam, they are revising and learning the things. So it depends upon. But here we have the factors to be seen, that is there a relationship or not. So here we have taken X as anxiety. Test score, we are looking for either these two things are depending upon each other or not. So we can take one as independent, one as independent. So here we have taken summation X, summation of Y, adding them all. Then we have X square, X column square are theirs, and we have summed them up. Y square column is there. We have squared each and every term of column Y, and we have added them. We are getting summation Y square, and then after we are getting summation of xy by taking out the product of x column with y column. Okay, so we have obtained all the values, and with the next step, it's so easy that might be you are saying, yes, we have done with the things. Because if the question is coming, it should be based upon this type of data. Might be the data should be large or small, and depending upon that, you can have the values of the marks as either 10 or 5. Okay, so if the data is large, might be the 10 marks question is the same thing we have to do, and some values it could be of 5 marks. So here on substituting the values of summation xy, summation x, summation y, and summation x square, y square, we are getting a value which is minus of 0.94. Right, so what we will say now, the relation is negative correlation, and it is strong as well. Correct, so we have a strong negative correlation, or we can say indirect strong correlation. Correct, so this we have done with the correlation, one topic with some example, some theory is finished, and now we are going to work with the Spearman's rank coefficient. What do you mean by rank? As already we are aware of that, whenever we are giving the exams, in a competitive exam, we are not saying the positions, but we are saying the rank. You might be aware of the fact. So here we are saying that it is a method to determine the correlation when data is not available in numerical form, and as an alternative, the method of rank correlation is used. Means whenever we have the value which is not as such the numerical value, what we are going to do, we are going to give them ranks, and then we are going to find out the correlation between them, and then the rank correlation, the correlation is known as rank correlation. Okay, now we have the computation of rank correlation. How we can find it out? We can calculate the rank correlation in a scenario when actual ranks are given, means might be depending upon your performances. Now performances are not only in the exams, might be it is a musical performance, might be you are giving some competition where you have to dance, a dance competition is there. So there also we are ranking the candidates. We are giving some marks, but actually what we are saying is we are giving the marks in order to rank them, that how much better they have performed in comparison to other. Correct. So when actual ranks are given, we can go for rank correlation. The second case could be the ranks are not given but grades are given. Correct, means we have not ranked them. Whenever the candidates are coming, judges are just giving them some marks based upon their performances, and then after, when we have to go for the final decision, we are going to rank them up, obviously based upon their marks given by the judges. Correct? And the third scenario could be possible that ranks are not given, grades are given, we have to rank them, but while ranking them, we come to know that there is a tie. All of us know that there could be a tie in the performances, in the scenarios when we are not aware of the things. That it could be an first rank, second rank, because judges have to give just the values, and then we have to rank them up. Might be possible judges have given similar marks to two candidates or three candidates, then obviously there is a tie. You know? So these three things we are going to work with. In some of the examples, we will work when actual ranks are given. The second case, we will work with the ranks are not given. We are going to rank them up, but there is no repetition, no ties are there. And the third case is when ranks are not given, grades are given. We are going to rank them up, but there is a tie. Okay, so let's see how we are going to calculate. Okay, here you can take care of that some of the authors are using rank correlation as this row, or some of the times you will see in the books they have noted down RS to denote rank correlation. It is given by Spermans, so they are going to take it as R with a subscript S. RS is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma di square divided by n into n square minus 1. The first thing that I want to emphasize is be sure that when you are writing out, this term is separate and subtracted from 1, because here I have seen student doing some mistake. They are taking 1 minus 6 sigma d square in the numerator and n into n square minus 1 in the denominator, but it is separate. Here you can see, if I remove the ink, 1 minus means this is in bracket. You can put it like this, so there is no chance of mistake. And if we talk about what is D, what is N, and we have discussed it is the number of pair we have for the observations. And what is DI? DI is the sum of the difference in their ranks, because we are going to work with the rank correlation. So we are going to find out the ranks differences, and that is DI. So let's see what the procedure is. So for the first thing is we have to rank the values of the data from 1 to n, where n is the number of pairs of x and y data in the sample. Means whatever the two things are given to us in front regarding the data, we have to rank them up. If the rank is not given, means here the values will be given to you. You have to find out the rank of x and rank of y. And how we are going to rank? Obviously, whoever having the best score is at first rank, then second rank, then third rank, and so on. And then after we have to calculate the value of the difference. For each pair of observation, we have to subtract the rank of xi and rank of yi. Means we need to maintain a column of rank. If x, let me write down here, we have been provided with the data of x, data of y. We are going to calculate a rank of x, a rank of y. We are going to calculate di, which is the difference of rx and ry, and then we are going to calculate di square, perform for, and finally whatever the summation is coming from the last column, we are going to find out the sum that is to be used in the formula. So let's start with an example.
Ma'am, one question is there, ma'am. Suppose, ma'am, in these types of questions, when we have to find a relationship between, ma'am, like in, ma'am, that question, ma'am, weight and age, ma'am,
Hmm.
when where, ma'am, serial number, age, and weight in kg is given. So,
Correct.
ma'am, we can take anyone independent and anyone dependent, or
Actually, no,
ma'am,
it
means,
depends.
ma'am, suppose, ma'am, age is more, but
Hmm.
a person's weight cannot be determined by age, ma'am. ma'am, he or she can have also illness due to which
Obviously,
weight is less, or he or she can be more weight than a person who is more aged, a person who is less age of less age.
so the scenario is that whenever we are having a particular age, now listen to me what I'm saying. Based upon your age, you have a
Hmm.
standard weight. So what we are saying,
Hmm.
based upon age,
Okay.
we are depending upon the age. So which is the dependent variable?
Ma'am, weight is dependent.
Weight, obviously, because age is independent. We can have a data if you will go to the hospitals now, there also they have written down the charts, but if your kid is of this age, the standard weight is this, means which is being coming as a from the survey. We are never saying that we or our kids are following that, but yes, these are the standard things, that as a person is going to increase in their age, weight is also increasing, but yes, it depends upon the things, that it's never going to increase, it's for a specific age. Might be we can say that up to a particular age weight is going to be increased, and then it's stagnant. Correct. So here,
Okay.
based
Okay.
on the things, whatever the data is coming to you, you have to read down, and then you have to see which thing is depending upon that. But actually, if we talk about only correlation, here you can take anyone as dependent, anyone as independent, because it doesn't matter in the formula. Means if you're talking about our knowledge or wish to be taken as dependent or independent, it's fine. But actually, in the formula, it is not uh, disturbing the formula. We can take either x, either y. It doesn't matter because we have this symmetric formula with respect to x and y both. Correct, but it has an effect when we are going to study about the regression. We will study in the coming, might be tomorrow. Regression is just a part of correlation. You can say the extended form of the correlation, where we are not only finding out the relation is there or not, that will be told by the correlation coefficient, and then how much they are depending upon each other. As we are saying, if weight is depending upon the age, how much it is depending upon, or what should be the weight at a particular age. Suppose this I want to find out, you know, because first we have obtained that yes, the things are correlated, and now suppose I am age particular age, and for this particular age I want to know what should be my correct weight, you know, because we are very conscious about our weight. So that thing we can calculate with the help of a regression. So their dependent variable or independent variable matters, because depending upon what thing we are going to calculate, we have to take dependent or independent. But in case of correlation, you are free to take anyone as independent, anyone as dependent. It doesn't matter in the formula. Correct? And here, if we have worked with, here we have just the two things in front of us, and we are saying we are going to find out the rank correlation. Again, I can take anyone as dependent, anyone as independent. Here we have two things in front of us. We have been provided with the ranks. Correct. We have student A, B, C, D, E, F, and we have their ranks in the maths. Rank obviously mean position. That how much well they have performed. According to that, we are getting the ranks in maths and rank in physics. So these are the two things actually which are looking that obviously there could not be any relation, but there is a rank correlation that will tell us that a student getting this rank in maths is depending upon, or because we know that maths, if somebody has a good maths, he can obviously do good calculation in physics. Okay? So here we are going to find out a rank correlation, that a student getting good marks in maths, is it getting the same type of marks or good marks in the physics also. So this is how we are going to find out. Let's see from here. We have been provided with the first rank of maths is obtained by C, second rank by E, third rank by F, fourth rank by B, fifth rank by D, and sixth rank by A. Okay, so these are the ranks in maths we have written for the 6 student. Similarly, here we have first rank is given to A. See here he is getting, I'm not sure he is or she is, whatever the student is. Here, uh, student A is getting sixth rank in maths, but is getting first rank in physics. Correct? So here the data is given for the ranks taken by the student in maths and physics. So what we have to do? The first thing we have to do is to find out the difference in the rank. What is the difference in the ranks obtained by the student in maths and physics subject? So here we have seen the difference is 5, 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 2. So again, it doesn't matter you are subtracting x minus y or y minus x, because we are going to make it square. And when we have squared them, we are getting the values all in positive. We are going to find the total, and this is our summation di square. Correct? This process is for the rank correlation when we have the ranks given in front of us. And here if we calculate what the formula, if we remember, we have written 1 minus 6 summation di square, and this whole divided by n into n square minus 1. So this was the formula. And here what is n? We have been provided with the data of 6 students. Correct? So n is 6. Di square that we have obtained is 36. So if you put the value 1 minus 6 summation d square n into n square minus 1, on cancelling out 6, we are getting minus of 0.285. So what we can say? The comment is there is indirect weak correlation, or we have to specify it as a rank correlation. And be sure to read down the question very carefully. When correlation word is there, be sure to read it down, that either we are talking about rank correlation or correlation, because I have seen students doing this type of silly mistake, that we have provided them rank correlation and they are looking for the normal correlation. Correct? So we have to be very careful regarding what the things are given to us, and either we have to obtain rank or the normal correlation. Whenever we have to find out the rank, obviously there is some hint in the question that we have to look for the rank correlation. So just we have to read the question carefully. Okay. Here see we have a practice question. That's why we have written as a practice, that find the rank correlation coefficient between the given data. Correct. We have been provided with the ranks again in stats and in economics, that what is the rank of a student in stat subjects and in the economics. Obviously there are a lot of things that students are good in a particular subject, might be they are good in another subject or not, because a lot of factors are there, the choice, the teacher, the environment, the practice they are giving. But here we are just looking for the two values that have been provided to us as a rank in the two subjects, and from here we are going to find out the solution. Here I think the data solution is also not provided, because I used to have this slide, this ppt in my own classes. So you have to solve it, and you can discuss with your colleagues or with me. Okay. The next example we have is calculate Sperman's rank correlation coefficient between the advertising cost and the sales from the given data. Now here again data is given to us and we are looking for the rank. Here be sure we have the rank correlation. So data is given as a normal data. We can find out the correlation also, and we can find out summation x, summation y, and all that things. But we are looking for the rank correlation. So what the first thing? First we have to rank them up, and here we have been provided with the rank of x. We have 39, 65, 62, 90, and so on. So this is the data of the advertising cost x. X is advertising cost and y is given to us as the sales in lakhs. So we have two datas in front and we want to find out the rank correlation. So how we are doing? First we have to rank the advertising cost, and if we see which is the largest value, here 98 is the biggest value, so we have ranked this value as 1. Again, is there any other value in 9? Yes, here we are getting 90, so we have ranked it second rank. Third, here we have 82, fourth is 78, 5 is 75, and so on. So here we have to be very careful regarding, we have to read the values and rank them from 1 to n, whatever the sample size we have. Similarly, we have to rank the values of y, the sales. So here we have the maximum value is 91 given as rank 1, then 2, 3 and so on. Total 10 values are there. So we are getting the ranks from 1 to 10. And if we have done with this, the next step is to find out the difference between the two. Here we have calculated the difference, then square each and every value to find out d square, and finally sum them up to find out summation of d square, which is coming as 30. Correct? So this is summation of d square. Again, we have to put it in the formula 1 minus 6 sigma d square n into n square minus 1, or some students used to write it down like this, n cube minus n, because it is the same thing, n into n square minus 1. So if we simplify it, it is 6 into 30. It's not 6.30. It's just a typing mistake because we used to have this in our notebook, 6 into 30. Okay? So summation d square is there as 30. Put it in the value of, put these values in the formula and hence calculate RS. Spur means rank correlation, which is coming as 0.82. And obviously, as it depicted, that there is a relation between advertising cost and sale, means for a product showing on the television or on the newspaper, customers are more attracted by them and hence they are going to purchase them. Okay? So here we have done two questions. In one of the question we have been provided with the ranks. Correct? Rank were already given to us. We have just taken out the difference square, obtained the value from the formula and interpreted it. The second form, we have been provided with the values, not the ranks. So we have calculated the ranks first. All ranks we have calculated. We have calculated the difference square, and hence using the formula we have interpreted the result. Now we are going to find out the third one. The third one we have ranks are having tied, means number of ranks are there, and might be there are two values lying at the same rank or three values lying at the same rank. So what is the change in the formula? Here you can see again we have 1 minus something, so be sure not to do a mistake over there. Right? It is 1 minus, earlier what we have 6 summation d square divided by n into n square minus 1. It is n, either capital or small. It should be small n. Correct? Might be typing mistake. It should be n because we have represented this sample by n, small n. So here if we say what the change in the formula is, you can see in summation of d square we have added the term 1 by 12 m into m square minus 1, or I can say m cube minus m, and this is just a correction, or you can say an additional term to be added whenever we have number of repetitions of a particular term. Suppose three values are same, so how many time value is repeated? 3 times. So I will take ms3 and add 1 by 12 3 cube minus 3. Some might be our data is large and one more value is repeated twice, so again the number of times that is happening is 2. I'm not talking about second time, I'm talking about how many time it is being repeated. Correct? So then m value will be 2 and it will be added in the formula where we have written summation of d square. So it will be very clear to you when we are going through the example. Let's see from here. We have to find out rank correlation between these values of A and B. So here if we start with data A, if we see the biggest value here is 80 at rank 1. The next value is in the line of 75 here, and if we move on 75 here. So what we got? We got a tie, and how many times the value is repeated? 2 times. Correct? So we can note down that we are getting a value of m as 2. So in the formula, now we have not to go with a simple formula, but we have to go for summation of 1 by 12 m into m square minus 1 in summation of d square. This is one thing. And how we are going to calculate d? We have to do some arrangement to give up this tie. So what we can do, this is at the first rank. Now it could be second, it could be third, or this could be second, this could be third. obviously both have the equal probability. So what we have to do, we are not giving any 2 or 3 because we are not biased. What we are going to do, we have to find out the average. So 3 plus 2 by 2, 2.5 here and 2.5 here. So we have done with the second and third rank. Now we are going to move on with the fourth rank. Fourth rank we have is for 68. Then fifth rank, I'm not getting the fifth rank. Where is the fifth rank? Okay. See here again we have a tie. That's why I'm not getting the fifth rank. It is 64 and it is also 54. And oh yes, one more 64 is here. Correct. So how many times again we are getting a tie? 3 times. 64 is repeated 3 times. So what is happening now? Means this should be our fifth position. Correct, because 4 is up to this could be fifth position, that could be sixth position, it could be seventh position, but yes, we are not sure about this could be fifth, sixth, seven, or it could be fifth, sixth, seven, and so on. So what we are going to do, we are going to add 5 plus 6 plus 7, all the possibilities that a number could take, and how many values, 3 values. So the average should be obtained by dividing the sum by 3. So 5 plus 6, 7. 5 plus 6 plus 7 means 11 plus 7, 18. 18 by 3 is 6. Hope so you are getting it. If you are not getting it, be sure to do it by yourself and to see how we have written these values. First, we have seen that at second and third position, we are getting the same values. So we have taken the average 2.5 and given to both of them as a rank 2.5, 2.5. Now we are saying up to fourth rank it was fine, and again when we look for the next value we are getting fifth value, sixth value and seventh value, which are all same. So again we can't mark them 5th, 6th, 7th arbitrarily, but what we have done, we have taken 5 plus 6 plus 7 and their mean. So when the mean is coming as 6, so now you can see here we have the 6th rank here, 6th rank here and 6th rank here. But actually we have done with the 7 values. Right? Hope so you're getting it. So next should be 8th,
Yes, ma'am.
9th and then 10th. Correct? So this is a way how to rank them whenever we have a tie. So till now we have done with MS 2 and 3. And if you go to the second series B, again if we look for first value is 81, the maximum one, rank is 1, second rank. Now for the third rank we have 68 and 68 twice. So it could be the third or the fourth place, and here also it could be third and the fourth place. So again we have to take the average. 3 plus 4, 7, 7 by 2, 3.5 here and 3.5 here, because we do not want to be biased. Okay? We have given them the similar rank. So here we have 3.5, 3.5, and we have done with the third and fourth rank. So next we have fifth rank, sixth rank, seventh rank, 8, 9 and 10. So we have done with the ranking. Now the similar procedure is there. Find out D, whatever the difference we are getting, find out D square, sum them up, and we will get the value of summation D square, which is coming as 72, on putting the values in the formula. Now we can see here we have ms2, ms2 for A, and we are getting one more tie for m is equal to 2. Correct? So we have in the formula 1 minus 6 sigma d square 1 by 12 m into m square minus 1. Correct? So m means we have 3, m into m square minus 1. It's 3 into 8. I think one value is missing there. They have shown with 2. If I write down 1 by 12 as such, m into m square minus 1. So they have shown actually one value is missing over here. We can edit it. Here we have one more value, but this is for m is equal to 2 and m is equal to 2. You know? So one more value is here, which is for 3. As you can see here, we have noted down that in the first series we are getting a tie twice and thrice, and in the B series twice. Two values were same. So m is 2, 3 and 2. So one more time we have to add, and which is 1 by 12 m is over 3. So 3 into 3 square minus 1. So we have to add it, and then you can check and verify the calculation also. It must include this. If not included, you can add it. So here we have 9 minus 1, and okay. I think I forgot to add the last one, but you can add it. Doesn't matter. Here we have the final formula will come from this, and then after doing the calculation, whatever RS is coming, you have to interpret it, and then you have to go for that. Either the two things are negatively, positively, strong, intermediate, whatever the type of correlation is there. Correct. So we have done with the correlation today. We have done with the correlation. And one more slide is there if you want to read. Actually, it is hidden. It was hidden in the slideshow. So let's read out from here. That R always lie between +1 and -1, which is correct. We have seen two independent variables are uncorrelated. Obviously, when we are getting R as 0, we can say they are uncorrelated or they are independent. One more property of R is that it is independent of the change in origin and scale. Correct. So what is the meaning of origin and scale? That if I subtract a particular value from all the values of a series and then calculated R, then there is no change in the R. That's why we are saying it is independent of the change in origin. And what we mean by scale is if I divide each and every value of a particular series by a constant and still calculate the R before and after, there is no change. And the last one is R is the geometric mean of the two regression coefficients. So we are going to learn about the the regression coefficients. So this property we will discuss over there. Correct. So this is all about the correlation and rank correlation today. Tomorrow we are going to start with the regression, which is in the continuation of that. Most probably we will cover it in the coming 2 lectures, and if some time is there regarding the discussion, you are most welcome to take your doubts and discuss with me. Chalo, thank you, Bita.